connect. Connect your business to what's important. Today, our conversation will be about operating your business in this new norm. And as our guest panelist, we have today with us Mr. Sidney Ferguson, owner of Classic Men Barbershop. We also have guest panelist Mr. Vivian Caesar, owner of Transcend Performance Auto Repair. And I am your host, Johnie L. Douglas Jr., and I'd like you to settle down and get connected. And before we get started, I'd like for each of these business owners who are fantastic in what they do and have a great business that they run to tell us a little bit about themselves. Mr. Ferguson, can we start with you? Just give us a little bit of history of business and yourself and what made you even decide to do this kind of business.
Well, one thing, I appreciate you allowing me to come on the podcast this evening. Um, my background is in real estate investing. Back in 2008, when the real estate market crashed, I almost crashed with it. So I decided to start buying businesses. So that's why I started, the barbershop, Classic Man Barbershop, a chain of barbershops.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So, well, I've been to your barbershop. It's a great atmosphere. I love it. Thank you for the work you're doing in the city of Miramar through your barbershop.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And now we go to Mr. Vivian Caesar.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about you, my friend.
Well, I was established in 2012, and I moved to this great city of Miramar with open arms. Just basically from the police officers to the city council to everyone, helping me to get everything situated with the business was pretty smooth. And then after there, it just went uphill from there. So, my job, basically, what I do is I service some of the cars for the PDs. I also have a section of the business where we do restorations for classics. So, a lot of the classic cars where people have in their garages, just sitting and rusting away, and they want to get, their projects done. I'm the person that picks them up and make their dream come to life. So, you know, that's the good part of my business, I would say.
Okay, good, good. Well, as you guys know, I've been to your shop as well. Very organized, very well ran. I'm interested in getting into some of the other things that you and I have talked about with your business. But when I get into all that, that's the meat of all this podcast here. But
Right.
one of the questions I'd like to ask both of you guys is, we're starting phase one of coming out of this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, and slowly reopening businesses. And by us doing that, my question to you guys is, um, how are you intentionally remarketing your business differently from what you did before for more success? I know our audience, the consumers have changed a little bit. So how are you doing intentional marketing that the audience know and consumers know that, hey, we're here, we're available. This is what we're doing.
You want me? You
I'll
want me to go
start with
first?
Vivian. Yeah.
Well, it's crippling to everyone, and when something like this happens, at first, you try to say like, how am I going to help the community, or like save everyone from either getting worse or helping them in a time of financial need. So what I did is, I reached out to a lot of my customers that I knew that worked in big offices, and I told them, kind of like reassured them. I said, hey, I'm willing to, pick your car up. We can do some small repairs that you needed, at half price. And I sent the guys over there with their masks and fully suited to pick their cars up, so they won't have to leave home. And then when the cars get here, we end up serving them, sterilizing them, and dropping them back off, leaving the key inside, and it sent electronic payments. So, I feel like that was one door ahead to get customers to feel comfortable, to wanting to know that, life is not over. We could
Right.
still, we could still service our cars and get stuff moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then apart from that, your regular stuff where people are not like, in your office, they're more doing emails and,
Right.
payments are electronic. So all those things became a system, and then it's just time frame where people get comfortable to using it. But eventually, people will start to understand the importance of it. So that's what I did in my business.
I'm loving what I'm hearing when I talk to most businesses during that pandemic time, and then as they slowly recover from that, how they've reinvented themselves, how you guys have thought of different ways to stay vibrant and to stay relative so that you can keep your customer base. I enjoy hearing those. One of those things you said was to limit your customers from coming to you,
Right.
you going to them, which is an awesome thing to do. Also, now, are you still doing that now?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, we're still doing that now, and it's crazy because people are more comfortable with doing that now. It has put a little bit of strain on the business because the guys have to drive more, they have to drive further to do certain things. So it's a longer time in the day. You know, since that we don't have the curfew anymore, it's a longer time in the day because we have to drop off more cars. But the customers are happier with the situation. So if we have to work a little bit harder, it's fine. You know what I mean? As long as, yeah.
perfect, okay. And Mr. Ferguson, I know, as far as during the pandemic, most barbershops were asked to stay home and to stay away from their workplace. However, how has it been for you marketing yourself through the phases of reopening? How has that looked for you?
But we still, it's still a struggle because most people still know that it's going to be another phase of this pandemic that's coming through. So everyone is still being cautious. But here at the barbershop, we do appointments only. We stay open an extra couple hours. This is trying to service everyone that set appointments. So it's been a struggle, with any beauty industry. It's been a struggle. But here we try to keep it clean and we sanitize and we do everything we can because at Classy Man Barbershop, the customer, comes first, and it's all about safety, for the barbers and for the customers.
Yep.
Okay, all right, all
Most
right.
definitely.
And I know everybody's using the gloves and mask and
Yeah.
handling all of those and making sure you get deep cleaning and all that going on. And like I said before, I've gone to both of you guys' facilities, and I know what you were doing prior to the pandemic. So I know you even stepped it up even more so after the pandemic because I understand both of you guys'
Yeah.
passion and for your business and what you do. So I do
Right.
understand that. One thing I like to find out from you guys is uh, in your reopening, now that you've started, now that everything's is fully reopened, well, most things, I guess not everything is now because gyms and everything are fully reopened. Um, what are some of the challenges that you have tapping into consumer monies, tapping into that consumer resource of revenue? Are you having any challenges with that? Trying to get customers to say, hey, you know what? Don't be fearful. You can come into my store. You can come into my shop. We're here for you because I think that's where our audience is right now. We're at a stage now where we're apprehensive.
Mhm.
We're a little shy about where we go. So I'd like you guys to right now to rest the public's mind that they come to your shop, it's available for them, you have everything that they need to make sure that they're comfortable. How do you make your customers feel that way?
Well,
Vivian, we'll start there.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just when they see they see hand sanitizer. They smell the place. If it smells, like it's been sanitized. You walk in. Presentation is everything. So before I always try to keep because it's an automotive shop. So I want people to come in and not leave with grease. But now, if they're coming in to the Bay Area to look at their car to see something, I have a sanitizer station at the door. They sanitize their hands, and I have a line. Staying. Keep your distance. Say we're 6 feet apart. So, people are definitely taking it into consideration. And like you said, it is a struggle because people don't want to put themselves at risk and also spend money that they don't know where they're gonna get it back. You understand? So they're like, should I fix this because I don't know my job situation and all these different challenges that normal working people have is definitely into my consideration because I am the working class also. So I think when you kind of talk to them and kind of get with them on a one-to-one basis and let them know, listen, we all got to work together, and I'm here to provide a service. So just know that my place is clean and I don't have a lot of people here. So when you're scheduled to come at this time. So it's more about the customer reassurance to know that you know you have done the necessary things and you're gonna continue to do it. So
Right. Okay. And Mr. Ferguson, you've done the same thing, like you said before. You're by appointment now. Do you accept any walk-ins at all?
No, no, sir. No, we do not accept walk-ins because we strictly, had to change everything, and do a whole 360 by appointments only.
Okay, so now I would feel better with that.
Even before, when the walk-ins, I mean, not the walk-ins, when the appointments come in, before they come in to their appointment, we have to take their temperature,
Right.
sanitize, tell them, go wash your hands in the bathroom, or you can use hand sanitizer. You must have your mask on. You can't come into the barber shop without having your mask on. So we trying to take all the necessary precautions because it's not about making money. It's about being safe. The money ain't the problem. It's about being safe.
Okay. Mr. Ferguson, outside of the the pandemic cautionary measures that you use, what makes your barbershop different? Now, Miramar there's a lot of barbershops in the city of Miramar, but what makes your barbershop a different? I can tell you from my perspective what does, but what makes your shop?
Well, Class of Man Barbershop is basically we don't allow I don't allow none of the barbers, no profanity. We don't talk about no discussing about a woman body parts, and also we wear a uniform. They wear black pants with the shirt look like a tuxedo, so it's a uniform. It's classic. It's like and a lot of these barbershops they getting away from decent. You want a place that you could bring your girlfriend or your wife to sit down and just sit down and not hear all that profanity. So you want a decent place. So Classman Barbershop is totally different from all the rest of the barbershops that be in there yelling and screaming. There's no loud talking or anything like that.
All right, so it's actually classic.
It's class.
All
Correct.
right, all right, all right, all right. And Vivian, outside, because we have a lot of auto mechanics out here and a lot of detailing. What makes yours different? What can the customer expect from you that they probably won't get from anywhere
it's always that extra step. People don't want to make that extra push to providing the safety for people. People don't see you wiping off their steering wheel. They assume that you're supposed to do it. So a lot of my clients, I show them, look, your steering wheel is clean, your door panels are clean. Every time you get in the car, we have gloves on, we have our face mask. That this was a thing that was automatic before with us,
else?
you know.
Right,
So
right,
it's crazy. Like now, it becomes systematic, but it was a normal for us to wear face masks because we didn't want to get dust or we don't know what the clients have in their cars. But now it's like we're going the extra step to making sure, even if it is dirty, you're getting it back clean. You understand? Automatic at no cost whatsoever. I haven't charged any client to clean any car since this whole thing started because I felt like we all have to do a part. So this was my part, you know.
okay. Wow. Okay. Now, oh, we lost. Okay. Oh, now, Mr. Vivian, also, uh, I think you're holding back a little bit about your history and your background and
Yeah,
your knowledge about cars.
yeah, yeah.
You spent time, I think, in Germany, and
Yeah, I went to Germany for 2 years, and then, I went to California to do a engineering program for 2 years. So I've been traveling a lot, and then now I travel back and forth to the West Indies to do a lot of programming for cars, just a whole bunch of different electrical systems with the New York with Lamborghini and Ferrari.
So it's safe to say that you really know what you're doing.
Safely, safely.
All right. All right. All right. So now in each of your industries, one being a barbershop, one being in the auto business, what are some of the new trend settings that you see going on that you know that is going to carry on? Like when you talk amongst other peers, other barbershops, other barbers, other auto mechanics, what are some of the trends that you see going on that you know that's gonna set the stage for a new norm within that industry? Is it dealing more technology? Is it more technology? More so, what is the trend going on now that you see? That
Well,
you know that everybody's kind of gravitating to.
in my business, like what you just said was perfect. Technology. So look at this. So basically, clients would need to come here to get their car diagnosed. So now they're coming out with devices where you can use your phone to use Bluetooth to where you have a car issue. You can scan your phone and then you can send me the information straight to your phone. I'll show you how it looks real quick. I'll show you how it looks.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is a Bluetooth device here, and you plug it up to your onboard port here, and you just hook it up to your phone. And any type of check engine light, any type of hesitation, it'll relay the information, and then you just email it to me, and I'll be able to tell you over the phone. So this type of technology is going to change everything. With
Wow.
people, yeah, with people really walking up and driving up, like the gentleman with the barbershop saying that it's only by appointment. Realistically, you don't even need to come to me unless I tell you that the issue is serious, So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So that is definitely a new trend that's going on.
Yeah.
That's going to start kind of. Okay. Wow. Okay. And Mr. Ferguson, some of the new trends now are because I know most barbershops when I used to get my hair cut, they were by appointment and walk-ins. Do you feel now that most barbershops are going to be doing strictly walk-ins? Is that going to be the kind of the new norm? And if that's the new norm, how does that work with obtaining new customers? How does that work? How do you see that working?
Most of the new trend I see that's going on right now is basically it's the appointment booking app. They have a couple appointment booking apps. So if anyone right now we have to be safe, so they have to either they go on the app and book because before they used to call in and book appointment. But now, it's like you go on the app, you book, and that's it. It's so plain and simple.
So is there a specific app for each barbershop to use? Or is there a specific number that each barbershop use within that app?
No, the app is it's called BookSee, and they just basically it's a BookSee called BookSee, and so they go on the app and they book it just like if you go on the app and book a flight to go to another state or country.
So they can oh no, so they can just go on and choose your barbershop.
Oh yes. It
All
would
right.
have
Okay.
most of my barbers, all my barbers are they're independent, so each one of them have their own profile on the app.
Okay.
So once they go and basically look for classic man barbershop and or whatever barber, and they just book with that barber, and that's just plain and simple.
But you're saying classic man barbershop, right? Look for classic man barbershop and book your appointment,
Barbershop.
right?
That's pretty dope.
Look for Big Joe barbershop. Look for classic man barbershop.
Yeah.
Right, we're highlighting you today, right, right.
Yes.
Click on that barbershop, right, exactly. Well, I know if anybody clicks on barbershop, they will not be disappointed. I know they won't be. Um, Last question I have, I want to give you guys time to give us kind of like a preview of your business. If you want to walk around and show us some of the
Okay.
work and what people can expect, you can do that.
Yes.
Then we start with you, Mr. Ferguson. Give us a little snapshot if you can.
Okay,
We expect when we walk in, because I've been there.
walk in. As you can, this is a seating area.
Okay.
Can you see it clearly?
Oh yeah, we're seeing it. Yes. Yes.
Yes. See, this is a sitting area.
Wow, it's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very.
These are the stations.
Okay.
Just getting the lights turned on.
Okay. And
Yes, and let me show you. We also have a customer in here now. So we only allow appointments. So, and this is Augustine, one of the licensed barber. And this is the uniform I'm telling you about. Step out. Let me. You see, this is how the uniform looks,
okay.
Nice, nice.
and this is one of the clients.
Okay.
Yes, and these are the chairs look from the front of it.
Okay.
Yes, yes, and we also this is the waiting area. Like if you have something, you want to get something out of stat machine, you come sit over here or you get your hair cut.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Yes, absolutely. And so where are you located?
On 2600 South University Drive, Suite 108, in the beautiful city of Miramar, Florida.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. And
Thank you.
Vivian, okay, we ready for a tour, man.
Okay, no problem. All right, so this is I gotta take the computer with me.
Okay.
Cool. So this is my office here. As you can see, it's kind of cluttered right now because we're doing some changes.
Okay.
All right, so you come with me here. It says employees only. Keep the doors closed, and on the back end, it says here, doors closed. This is my
Okay.
facility. So here's where I do like most of my engine building.
Okay.
Uh, these are some of the classics that we have that we're working on. I'll just give you like an outside view. You guys see?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the section where we have our classics. I'm gonna step back so you could see all the warehouses.
Okay. Show it one more time. We kind of lost you.
Oh, you kind of okay.
Yes. We're gonna show it. Just show it one more time. Okay.
Yeah,
Now we're
right. This is the section where I do all of the restorations and everything. We have some shipments for our international customers here. And
okay.
no one basically comes in this side of the facility. So everyone is no one comes in the office. Everything is just secluded. It's just me and my brother that stays here. We drop the cars off, and we have the four guys that come and they deliver the cars for us, and that's it. We get electronic payments. I'll show you the other side of over here. So I have six warehouses. You guys can see?
Yes.
Yeah. So all of these warehouses here, we have a G wagon. This is like a very expensive right-hand drive G wagon, like the first one ever made. And this is
Okay.
where we do our general repair for like Acura of Pembroke Pines and Mercedes of Miami, where we do like just general repair on lease cars that come in for like oil changes and stuff like that.
Awesome.
That's it. That's basically it. That's my facility.
Oh wow. Okay. So today we're seeing two great facilities, and now I know that the business community and anyone watching this podcast will know and understand why I chose you two businesses to highlight today for the city of Miramar. I want people to know that the city of Miramar have very, very qualified, very, very good and successful businesses that are in the city of Miramar, and we're proud of you guys to be a part of the community. One of the questions I like to ask you guys, the last question I have to ask you is, there's businesses who flourish in cities because they have a relationship and connection with the city that they do business in. Some people call it community outreach. Are you guys involved in any kind of community outreach? Something that you do with the community to give back, or do you do anything like that?
Well, I do with the Broward College. I have the interns that come.
Okay.
Cool. So since the COVID-19, there haven't been classes, so I haven't got any interns. But it's free. They don't pay me at all, and they give me maybe 2 texts a week to come here and get some experience. So I take on young techs that are ambitious, that want to learn, and train them maybe like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 3 days a week for 4 hours.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Ferguson?
No, not at this time. My next business venture, I want to go ahead and get a school.
Okay.
Young men and young ladies.
Mhm.
The whole fundamental of being, of a barber. So that's, right now I'm not doing any type of, community outreach. I would like to, but not at this time.
Okay. No, and right now, this time right now, it's kind of a little hard to even try to do those things or implement them right now anyway. But I love the barbershop school thing that you're thinking as well. Really
Yeah,
good.
right in the city of Miramar.
Oh my goodness, that sounds so great. That's so great. Well, guys, I'm glad that you're here. For anybody who's listening, do you guys have any parting words or tips that you can give businesses who are trying to reopen and they may be a little hesitant or they may feel fearful of revenue and all of that? What kind of advice can you give them to kind of ease their mind that it's okay? Just go out there and try.
Well, just speaking from experience, at first I was a little scared, but just kind of reinvent yourself. Sit down, plan out, your move strategically, figure out how you're going to help people because they're going to need you because you're providing a service. So, think about how you're going to help them help themselves in a better way. And just keep pushing, just keep fighting, just don't give up. That's it.
Mr. Ferguson?
Well, my advice is basically put God first. Yeah, I mean, you can't do nothing without God. You can have money, you can have all this knowledge, but without God, it ain't nothing. So once you put God first, everything else will fall in place. You know, yeah, pray for wisdom. And Solomon prayed for wisdom. He didn't pray for riches. He prayed for wisdom. So once you have wisdom, everything else will fall in place. That's my advice. That's my advice.
That's great advice. That is great
Especially now.
advice. We're good now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have blessings and everything right now.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for coming in, and I forgot. And Vivian, where are you located again?
I'm located 3056 South State Road 7 on the corner of Miramar Parkway and 441. I'm on the west side.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys so much for the information that you've given out to our audience. I'd like to thank you for your time and for being the highlights of Miramar as far as the business community. I'd like to also invite guests if they want to get to know you guys or give you their business by coming out and having you service their car and cut their hair. They can reach you, Mr. Vivian, at Vivian Caesar
Yep.
at yahoo.com.
That's it.
They can reach you, Mr. Ferguson, at Ferg, Ferg, for life at hotmail.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I thank you guys for coming and being a part of our podcast today.
Thank you for
Until next time, Douglas,